Well, it's near the end of July 2013. I'm going to take you on a little tour of what I've been doing with my front yard food forest. Really doesn't look like there's a whole ton going on up here, but this is the bad side of the food forest. The ground out here is really compacted and tough stuff. There's a mulberry right there. Seminole pumpkins growing up the fence. You can see little things. I've got some seedlings and stuff. There's a little loquat, blackberries, persimmon, hachia. Got some sugar cane, Tithonia diversifolia. A lot of this stuff I'm just letting go to weeds right now. There's some Biden's alba, also known as shepherd's needle. There's a nitrogen fixer. It's called coral bean. Another Tithonia cutting I just stuck in the ground. Beauty berry started itself. Olive, little fig on the ground there, another loquat, chair, airplane, jujube, some cassava. I like to tear up areas of the yard down deep, throw some manure and stuff in them, and then start sowing seeds on top. That's what that area is. This is a little tropical avocado that started itself from some compost I buried in that pit. See if that lives. Probably not. Little fig. Watermelons crawling along the ground. All kinds of stuff. Those little green bushes in the middle there, those are Simpson stoppers. This is another nitrogen fixer, gummy berry. This is obviously a persimmon, and it's got a nitrogen fixer at its base here. Another coral bean. I started these from seeds last year. Native, very pretty flowers. There's a Simpson stopper. Very nice berries. This is one of my melon pits that I dug in the ground, filled full of logs and debris and manure and compost, and then planted melons on top of them. There's a little melon. Another nitrogen fixer right here. Plum tree. Nitrogen fixer. Peach tree. These trees aren't very happy in this yard up here. The seedling ones do better. The yard is just really compacted and hard. Some little cassavas going here. Another watermelon. A little baby watermelon. Mulberry. Up here's another one of the melon pits. I didn't bother weeding, I didn't bother watering or anything. They're making melons. Just a little melon. There is a plum tree. Next to it is a nitrogen fixing leucaena. It's kind of hiding back there. Probably can't see it very well. There it is. See the leucaena? That's a tropical. That froze down to the ground this last year and then came back. I've let these sumacs grow. And a patch of oak junk that was here because I've noticed a lot of wildlife coming in and out, and I don't want to clear that out. This is a pomegranate I started from cuttings, put in the ground last year. This is a Chickasaw plum. The nitrogen fixer here. Nitrogen fixer. This little fig in the middle is not happy. Didn't like all this rain. Got a fig on it. Black cherry. It's only been in the ground about a year. It's growing like crazy. Basically, I'm letting a lot of this ground go fallow, which means I'm not mowing. Got all kinds of stuff going on up here. This was the rose garden before I kind of started putting in edibles and stuff, and well, you know, they kind of took over. And I put in my weird tropical plants here too. Cold hardy cassava, feijoa. Here's another Tithonia. Snap. Chuck it, throw it on the ground down there. This is a Calamandan growing in the middle here. That's one of my favorite little citrus. Alright, you gotta take a look at this Seminole pumpkin here. Look at this baby. Oh yeah. Seminole pumpkins are a really tough, sort of, I guess you could call them a native pumpkin. They were bred by some of the various Indian tribes. There's one right in there. And they would girdle trees and grow them right up the sides of the trees. I don't want to girdle my trees, but they are growing pretty rapidly up the side. These beans that are growing everywhere are velvet beans. I threw a handful of them out a couple of years ago and they're just taking over. Over here, this is a little cold hardy avocado. And I just threw the cardboard around it the other day, and I'm going to cover it over with some mulch. There's another gummy berry, Eleagnus. Look at all these. The beans are just growing crazy. This is bad dirt, so I'm trying to do all I can to get biomass on it. Or just let the weeds grow. Get a lot of butterflies and things coming through. There's a little seedling pecan. My grandkids will probably enjoy that. This is a tung oil tree. Everybody says to me, why did you plant a poisonous tree in your food forest? Well, my grandpa was a carpenter, and tung oil was one of the finishes he used, and I was like, well, I don't care if it's poisonous. Reminds me of Grandpa. And my grandpa was poisonous. You want to tell me my grandpa was poisonous? Oh. I'm offended. Chestnut. And a nitrogen-fixing non-native invasive species, the silk tree, also known as the mimosa. I got a few more things back here. Little baby trees everywhere. You can just see into my nursery area in the back there, the greenhouse. Alright, I'm going to take you over to the other side. I've been working on this yard for only about 2.5 years. It started out as just a big patch of grass, and soon there's going to be a lot of food out here. Oh yeah, I got to look at the watermelon again. Like, shiny thing, getting distracted. Alright, this side of the yard is the glorious, healthy dirt side of the yard. And yeah, I am the weird neighbor. This is the center island here. I've got a pomegranate hiding in the middle, agave, in case we have a tequila party for the end of the world. Bottlebrush tree right there. Got some little native wildflowers and things happening. There's a pear that's totally taken off. Another tithonia. You can see I've cut this one already. Here is a fig. Nitrogen fixers next to it. This is our friend the tortoise. He lives here. So we don't have dogs, and we don't mess around, we don't mow. That tortoise stays here all the time, and he's very happy. I'll take you through here. Got cassava, got some tithonias towering overhead, pindo palm, which has edible fruit, elderberries, of which there are in fact elderberries right now that I need to come out here and harvest before I lose them all. More elderberries. Got butterflies flying through constantly. I've watched the butterflies go zipping through my yard, and then they turn around, they hit the edge of the yard. Oh, look at the neighbor's yard. There's nothing there to eat. And they turn around and they zip right back into my yard again. So I'm doing something right. Another persimmon. Malanga growing in the ground. This area stays pretty moist next to the elderberries, which is why I put the elderberries here. They like it moist. This is a redbud growing right next to a honey locust tree. I planted the honey locust. I thought it was dead. I mowed the area, and then I planted the redbud, and then the honey locust came back from the roots, and now it's a fight to the death, which is kind of fun. That's the way forests grow, right? Go ahead, fight. Fight. It's really kind of a slow fight. It's boring. I haven't taken any bets on it. This is another pear growing up here. And you can see I've chopped and dropped stuff all over the ground to improve the soil. More your shepherd's needle, Biden's alba. I just mowed these paths through here and let everything go crazy. There's a fig. Some incredible ragweed. Look at that. Awesome. All kinds of weeds. A little banana tree back there underneath the magnolia. Thought about cutting the magnolia down, but my kids play on it all the time, so I've just left it. This is a little Maiwa kumquat. See the little delicious, well, they're not delicious yet, but they will be. Go back here around the corner. Little native pawpaw, parviflora, Asamina parviflora. Oh, I'm going to show you this. I got ginger hiding back here in the shade. That's culinary ginger. That means edible or for cooking. Another fig. So basically, This is turning into a major ecosystem. That's a bay tree, by the way, right there. That little one hasn't died yet from the blight. Banana. Those are foreclosure bananas. That's where I saved them from. Little foreclosure. There's another little pawpaw. Look at that cute little pawpaw. Little hickory started itself. We harvested a bunch of hickory nuts and my kids whacked them all over the yard with baseball bats, and I just let some of them grow. Cassava everywhere, as you can see. There's an apple. It's an Anna apple. There's a pollinator around here somewhere. Chaya, Virginia creeper, ragweed, all kinds of good stuff. There's a fig growing up there.